Good morning. Thanks for joining into Your News Arizona. I'm Jonathan Alexander reporting. Um, right now, we are on I believe it's day 30 of our government shutdown.
There, I see you now.
Okay. Good morning, Dan.
Morning.
Anyways, I'm just announcing to my audience here. We're on day 30 of our government shutdown. There's no end in sight right now. This is affecting a lot of the American people. Um, I don't care what side of the aisle you're on. You know, you got to keep your politics to politics. When it starts affecting the American people and you're starving the American people, that's when enough becomes enough. Um, Dan, we've got the Democrats right now. These guys are doing everything they can to make the American people suffer. I'm so sick of it. And, you know, change has got to happen.
Yeah, well, CNN actually came out. Did you see that last night? Yesterday, they were calling them out and asking when are the Democrats going to go ahead and vote to open our government. So when CNN is realizing that the Democrats have shut this down,
Oh,
that
yeah.
tells you something.
Yeah. 100%. This has been ongoing and ongoing. Um, you know, I, these Democrats, they want us to feed and house these illegals, give them medical, the whole 9 yards. They don't seem to want to budge on it. It's just enough. You know, what does it take for the American people to finally say no more?
That's a good question, Jonathan. I would have thought they would have done it this last cycle, but
Yeah, you would have thought. Yeah. But I think that's why it's so important that people vote the right people into office, and put a stop to this. I mean, you're running again for United States Congress,
yep.
and what changes do you think you could do that would help make a difference?
Well, first off, unlike my opponent, I want to secure our border and stop the fentanyl that's pouring in, and it's killing. We're losing 5 people a day here, Jonathan, to
Yeah,
fentanyl overdose.
yeah. I know Yuma is really bad right now. I know the Tucson sector where you're at, that is extremely bad. That makes Yuma look like a walk in the park.
Yeah. Well,
Um,
I'm right here in the drug capital of the nation.
yeah, and that's what needs to change right now. I've been out with you where we've seen the amount of homeless people on the streets. It's just, I cannot believe some of the areas there in Tucson that it makes LA look nice.
Yeah, it's gotten really bad here, and here's the disturbing part, Jonathan. Get We could clean up the homeless in our streets within 6 months. That's just a fact. They said, "Oh, you can't secure the border. It's secured the best they can." Then Trump came in. Within a week, it was stopped. Everything was cleaned up. People were leaving. He just decided, he just enforced the laws. And that's all that needs to be done. There's a reason we have laws. It's so that it protects society, it gives us security, it prevents chaos, which is what's going on in my city right now.
Well, why is it, Dan, that you think the Democrats are okay with starving the American people right now? Um, they are taking away from our military, our government officials that, like BLM, they're, BLM land. I know that they're shut down right now. Everybody is being affected in this. What What do you think the Democrats think they're accomplishing by this kind of a shutdown
Uh,
where they're hurting the American people?
Well, my opinion right at this time and point is they're really regretting what they did because now they're looking really ignorant. I mean, what they've done. people, more and more people are beginning to look over and say, man, this is a Democrat shutdown. And they're doing it to extort the American people. They want $1.5 trillion for stuff that has nothing to do with the American people.
Yeah, and from my understanding, what they were just asking for was only going to keep the government open until I think until the 30th.
Yes, well,
Um,
that's what the Republicans were asking for.
yeah,
The
and
Democrats are too, and they've said it. They've already came out and said it. This is our chance. It's the only chance we'll have to hold the Republicans to the gun. So they've essentially taken this position, harmed all the people across the United States that need government assistance to extort the American people. That's what's happening. I mean, that's the bottom line. Look at our senators here.
oh
Okay.
yeah,
Our two senators should be in there voting for the people of Arizona. But here's the problem. They don't care about the people of Arizona. They never have. You know why? Because they're carpetbaggers. They're not from Arizona.
yep,
Neither one of them.
yeah, I couldn't agree more. Right now, I don't know what it's going to take to get this country back in order. I think Trump needs to find a way to put a stop to this. Um, it's not giving in to the Democrats, that's for sure. You can't be allowing these illegals to be um, housed, fed at our cost, just the whole 9 yards. And there's no way in hell if I was president, I'd be allowing that. Enough has gotten to be enough in that category. Um, but he's got to find a way to hold these Democrats accountable for what they're doing. I mean, you take a look at what they're doing to the American people right now. It should be a crime. We've got our senior citizens that are going without now. We're our disabled that are going without. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. I realize there's people out there that receive benefits that probably should not be entitled to these benefits that take advantage of the system. But for God's sakes, there's so many of them out there that are in dire need of these benefits because that's the only way they survive day to day.
Yeah. Well, what's happening to our country, Jonathan? There's 42 million people on SNAP. 42 million. I drove through Ohio one time, and they have these big billboards out that the taxpayers are funding to advertise, hey, come and get SNAP. And it makes no sense. When you
Right.
and I were younger, I was making $7 an hour. I had two kids I was raising, and their mom I was taking care of. Making $7 an hour, I barely covered my rent and my utilities. I didn't go down and get SNAP or food stamps so that I could get groceries. I went out and got a side job. Where's the pride in oneself?
Yeah.
I,
100%. I 100% agree with you in that category. I mean, you take a look. I mean, if you got a family to feed, as far as I'm concerned, you go out and wash a garbage can if that's what you got to do. Um, Growing up, my grandparents raised me, and we lived off the land. I mean, we worked sunrise to sunset um, in the summer months, and you know, we got ourselves prepared for the winters. But nowadays, there's so many people out there that do take advantage of the system. But then again, there's a lot of people out there that cannot work, that are disabled. Um,
yeah.
your retired people that worked all their lives, paid into the system, you know, and they consider this some kind of an entitlement, but those retired people, th- th-
The
cannot.
retired people earned it.
Yeah,
They worked their whole lives.
you're damn right. These
My
people,
issue is with these people that have never worked a day in their lives. Let give you an example. Okay, a guy and his wife, neither one of them got a job. They have a kid. So they go out and they get some food stamps so they can support the family. What do you think they go do? They go have five more kids.
Oh yeah.
I mean, where's these people? We've got to bring pride back to this country. I mean, where men just you weren't going to take a handout, not when you were capable of working.
Well, that's kind of the principles I grew up on. We never asked for anything. If we wanted it, we had to get out there and earn it. Um, but at the same time, like I said, like what we just discussed, these retired people earned it. I mean, they worked all their lives, worked their butts off. Same thing with your disabled people. They didn't ask to become disabled, and sadly, they're in a position to where they have to rely on this kind of help. But there's so many out there that could be out doing other things, as working at McDonald's, if that's what you got to do to provide for your family. You do what you got to do, but but again,
There goes the respect again.
yeah,
These healthy men that aren't out working to provide for their own families are taking the resources that are set aside for our retired folks. Our retired folks shouldn't have to pay taxes on their land anymore. They shouldn't have to pay taxes, period. They should have a little bit more money being given to them so that they could actually go out and enjoy their golden years. But it's being stolen from them by people that don't want to work and think that they're entitled to it.
yeah. Well, you
That's
did.
the shame.
Yeah, well, I mean, you take a look at the price increase in their Social Security this year. They're getting what, 2% increase. So that might raise, if they're making $1,200, $1,300 a month, they might raise it up $40, $43 a month, you know, for their annual income coming in every month. Um, I mean, monthly income coming in every month. Sorry about that. But $43 a month. But you look at the costs for food, groceries, the costs that for housing.
Inflation went up 12%.
Yeah, inflation went up twelve
So they've
percent.
got less money.
The American people cannot endure this kind of expenses right now. Go that they're having to endure. Um, and I think Donald Trump needs to focus on some of those things as well to try to get the
But
cost, the inflation costs down more. Get these grocery stores prices down. He's got the gas prices down. I have, however, seen some prices in the grocery stores starting to gradually drop some, but it's got a long way to come yet.
Jonathan, while we're on this subject, it took me some time to convince my dad of this inflation and the minimum wage going up and explain all that to him. But you were with me when my dad got in Jim Chilton's truck. When my dad got into Jim Chilton's truck, he hated Trump. Remember when we got done with that trip? My dad said we need to finish we need to finish the
Yep.
wall and we need Trump in office. It took him that trip. Well, when I was explaining to him, because my dad was telling me how they need to raise minimum wage, and I said, "Let me explain to you, Dad, what this is doing to people like you that are retired. They raise the minimum wage, inflation goes up, and Social Security goes up a little. So every time they raise the minimum wage, retired folks have less money. And that goes back to what I just said. These people that think they're entitled to all this are taking from our retired folks, and it needs to be fixed.
Right. Well, our retired and our disabled folks.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I 100% agree with you. You know what? One of the things I wanted to bring up today is also about this Charlie Kirk's wife, what she's been doing.
Eric,
Yeah, Erica.
Erica,
I
yeah,
mean, she has. I am so proud of the younger youth and the way they're stepping up. Um, I think this next generation has a has a has a chance, Dan.
yeah.
Um,
I hopefully they can straighten this out, and that generation will have the pride that the last couple of generations haven't.
yeah. Here, I want to play just a little bit from what Erica Trump had to say. She is on Fox News. I want to play that real quick for the audience.
And that's what makes this nation so different. That's what makes it worth defending as a courageous
Sorry about that.
generation. And another thing that Charlie used to say all the time is that it does not take skill to be courageous. It takes a choice to be courageous. And now's the time to make that choice. If you're sitting on the sidelines, I mean, I don't know what else can wake you up.
Yes, I did. With Sam,
I really don't know what else could stir that, I don't know, within you to get involved or to use your voice or to make a difference. If you're looking for another sign,
You helped me out quite a bit.
I have no idea what to tell you.
They're paid the same no matter which Medicare Advantage plan you choose.
I just want to
Ask them
encourage
about
you,
eHealth
though.
Live advice or get started on your own at eHealth.com. Either way, it's always a free service.
Yes.
See if you could get more for less with eHealth, like these folks did.
The savings are unbelievable.
Yes, my husband would say saving Western
Side by side. E-health is wonderful. $500 savings in my pocket. I was
But deeper
really
than that, this is
pleasantly
about your
surprised
soul.
at that.
Call
Because the fight for freedom starts within.
1-800-715-3163 to compare Medicare plans in your area
Inside of
or
each and
visit
every one of you.
eHealth.com.
eHealth,
So
your
again,
Medicare match feature.
please,
What will you do when the power goes out? Power outages can be unpredictable and inconvenient, but with a Generac home standby generator, your life goes on uninterrupted because when your Generac detects a power outage, it automatically
So, Dan, you hear that kind of a speech right there. That says a lot, to stand up against wickedness. And, right now, what we are witnessing in the Democratic Party is nothing but wickedness. Are you able to hear
Yep.
me all right?
Yep, I can hear you.
Yeah,
My
I mean-
office phone's ringing. I just had to close the door real quick.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, what we're witnessing with the Democrat Party is wickedness. And for her to be telling the younger youth, we've got to stand up against this wickedness, speaks volumes for her. Um, I know Charlie's got to be looking down on her, very proud of his wife.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's our younger generation that can help shape the future of America, and to see what Turning Point USA's been doing, the way they're out there trying to get the younger generation involved, these college students involved, says a lot. And I mean, that's what I want to see for the future of America, is to see our younger generation actually getting involved, that love and care about America, that doesn't want to see America become what it's becoming. I mean, what it has become right now.
Oh, yeah.
And
I'm living in probably the bluest area in all the nation.
that's just like the gentleman we were just talking about earlier that got killed down there in Tucson, and the way they let that guy off. You want to tell the audience about that?
Oh, yeah. Well, yesterday I got a message on Facebook. A gentleman was reaching out to everybody. Apparently, a whole neighborhood is scared, and you can go see the full interview on my Facebook page, Buterres for Congress. But if you go over there, you'll see the interview, and the whole neighborhood is actually terrified right now because this guy he had 50 plus sexual assaults that he was in prison for.
Hey, Dan, why don't you keep explaining that to the audience? I'm going to try to see if I can pull up your Buterres for Congress and
All
play
right.
that for them. How far down on your postings is it?
It's probably 2 or 3.
Okay, so go ahead and finish
All right.
explaining. I'm going to see if I
Anyway,
can
he
find it.
has 50 plus sexual assault cases that he went to prison for, and he was only given 3 years. Okay. He got out, went to live with his mother in this neighborhood, and he told the police officers that he had gotten in an argument with his mother, slapped her, she fell back, hit her head, and killed her. He later said he found her and then drug her into the house. Either way, his story doesn't line up. And he was held, they put him in a $1 million bond. The next thing you know, he's out. So this is the chaos that's going on in Pima County in Tucson. They're not holding anybody accountable. And you can see it in our streets. We have people we have night fights at the bus stations. We have rapes happening out in the homeless community. This is it's chaos. And that's generally what you have in cities that are run by people that want to push and promote socialism. So,
Is that story about the woman that was killed, Dan?
yep,
Okay,
that was his mother.
Okay, I just found it. So hold on one second, and I'm going to see if I can't bring this over to our screen for the audience. Sorry about that. Tell me if this is the right one. Now, is that the one, Dan?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and play this for the audience. Well, let's see why we don't have volume here. Hold on a second.
I'm here with Robert and Skylie. They're neighbors over here, and they got some issues going on with a criminal and our legal system, justice system, that doesn't seem to want to hold anybody accountable. So, Robert, you guys can tell me what's the problem? What's the issue that's
So the issue that we're having right now is that we recently had a neighbor, that got arrested for murdering his mother. He admitted to it. He went over there and said that he murdered his mom and left there with her body still in the house after he stayed in there the whole time getting high. I'm sorry. I told you this is terrible. Is this live?
Yeah, no.
He'll edit it.
Oh no, I'm gonna let her do most of the talking. You can just
Well, it's live now.
what do you see going on? I hear everyone's afraid in the neighborhood. There's fear going on.
Yeah, so this gentleman is actually the son of the woman who owned the home. She's lived here since I have, which is about 12 years. And he has been in and out over the years for a very long time. He was not allowed to come into the house. He had a restraining order from the courts because he was causing problems with his mother. And he somehow convinced the courts to let him come and live with her and take care of her this past year. And like, Robert mentioned, he admitted to pushing her down and essentially killing her and then leaving her body for days while he did drugs. And he again yesterday admitted to me he was in the house for 3 days doing drugs with her while she was dead because he didn't know what to do after. Wow. And, he said that he was released and that they proved that she died of natural causes, which I don't know the truth behind any of that, but the fact that he has already previously been convicted of numerous, I think 15 counts, 50 of sexual assault, some on, I think, minors, definitely on women. I live by myself. I'm not a large person, and that's the scary thing, that he can just come back here and no one was notified. We weren't told anything. He just showed up here. I saw him taking the screws off the door yesterday and didn't realize it was him. So, I had someone come over there with me to question him, and we realized it was him.
Well, I heard from Robert that there were two stories. One, he had hit his mother. She fell back and hit her head. The second story is he found her and pulled her into the house.
Yesterday, that's what he said to me.
So he has two different
Yeah, so he told the police the story of I pushed her, or I got in a fight with her and she hit her head and hit the concrete, and I tried to get her onto the couch and then I left her there. That was the initial story he told the police when he walked into the police department. Yesterday he told me, I couldn't find her and I went out in the backyard and she was just laying there, so I drug her body inside and then I didn't know what to do with her. I was out of my mind because I'd been smoking so much pot, which is not the drug of choice. And, he just left her there. So, I mean, he's at the very least should be charged with, I don't know what it is, improper disposal of the dead body or, leaving the scene of a crime. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, something. I mean, it's wild.
Well, if he hit his mother and she fell back and it hit her head, then that's a homicide.
Yeah, at the
I
very
mean, no
least,
matter what
yeah,
you
at the
do,
very least, it's some type of manslaughter or
it's a
something, you know?
domestic violence
Yep.
with death.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Any way you look at it. I
Yeah.
mean, if you strike someone, and
Well, Dan, that's unbelievable. Wow,
Yep. And he was at the house when I was there interviewing his neighbors.
unreal.
So
And this
this
guy,
is
this guy walked free from that.
yep. Well, this is what's going on in Tucson. We don't have any kind of justice here. It, you know, I was at the bus station, Jonathan. I'm standing there talking to the security guy, and one of these homeless people go over by the soda machine, he whips out his junk, and he pisses right there in front of everybody. And
Unbelievable.
we're over at and then the security officer and I walked over by the wash, and this is the loop here in Tucson. It's the Tohono station. It's on Stone and Wetmore. That's where we've had some killings right there on the loop.
Right.
Loop's become a very dangerous place. Well, we walk over to the railing overlooking the wash, and there's two people down there having sex out in broad daylight with everybody around. These people are beginning to act like animals, and it's because no one's enforcing our laws.
Why is it that your law enforcement down there is not getting involved and putting
Because our
this?
mayor won't let them.
Yeah, I mean, you got children that can see that. I mean, what's that?
Yep.
What kind of a message is that sending to our children?
It's definitely not sending a very good message.
Yeah. Um, I know Grahava's daughter. She still has not been able to take office. And
Did you see my interview on CNN?
which one is that one?
I did. Well, it's the only one I've done on CNN, but I did that. They interviewed me, and they were asking why I thought Mike Johnson hadn't sworn her in yet, and if I thought it was the Epstein kit files. And I said, well, first off, it's got nothing to do with the Epstein file. That I can say point blank. I was going to be the sig. If I'd have won, I would have signed the Epstein file. And we both told the media that. I said,
Right.
my opinion is that she went to Washington on a Monday without notifying anybody she was headed to Washington. She just shows up and then starts demanding that Mike Johnson get all the Congress there and swear her in. And I asked the reporter, he didn't put this on there. I said, let me ask you something. If your child were to come to you to ask you for something by throwing a temper tantrum, would you be more apt or less likely to give it to him? And he goes, good point.
Right.
Oh, I think it has more to do with her throwing a temper tantrum than anything else.
Well, maybe it has a lot to do with the fact that the government's shut down.
Yeah, well, yeah, but technically he could do it. I think at this point it's more of a she threw a temper tantrum and he's just not going to let it get away.
Yeah.
We got Chris Mays suing him, which isn't going to go anywhere.
Right.
It's not going to get anything done. The government will be open before this lawsuit ever gets even there. It's childish games, and I told the media, and they shook their head and agreed with me. CNN, I said, to me, I think it's just to get publicity,
Yeah.
and they shook their head. Yep, that's exactly what they figured.
How much longer do you think this government shutdown is going to last, in your opinion?
I'm thinking till next week.
Yeah.
That's my thoughts.
Yeah. I've been hearing rumors that this could last another 30 to 60 days. I don't know how true those rumors are, but that's what
I don't see that happening just because every day that goes by, the Democrats are looking worse.
Yeah.
And they're going to have to sit down and cave. And I know at this point that's not what they want to do because the
Well,
whole purpose.
how much worse can they look right now? Starving the American people. You just took away over what 42 million people SNAP benefits. Just, I mean,
Let's
I mean, those
let's
are
be realistic.
yeah. These are people that vote
Yeah,
too. You got to remember
yeah,
that.
yeah. But let's be realistic. None of them are. They're going to continue to get their benefits.
Yeah.
This is the talking point. You just saw Hobbs come out, who she said, "Oh, the Republicans are taking their food. These people are going to starve." She came out yesterday and said that she's going to go ahead and fund the SNAP program with the state funds, and then she can get it back later. And we already knew this. I thought it was stupid when she was saying it because the states do have money. They can put that money in and subsidize it and take care of their people. So ultimately, if anyone's going hungry on Saturday, they really need to look to their governors and ask their governors what happened.
Right.
Because they can subsidize those SNAP benefits and make sure everyone gets their benefits. And then when the government opens up, they can get it from them. This is all about the Democrats wanting to hurt the American people.
Well, I actually interviewed several people here in Arizona, and I guess they're all telling me these are people that are on SNAP benefits, and they're telling me that they were actually notified that their benefits were going to end on the 30th.
Yep.
So whether they get something or not, I guess that remains to be seen. But
Well, Hobbs just came out yesterday and said she's going to fund it.
okay,
She
so
just came out. Now she gets to play the big hero, which is she figures is gonna help her in her election next year.
right,
But yeah, she just came out and said she's gonna go ahead and fund the SNAP program with the state funds, and she'll just get it back from the feds when it opens.
well,
Which
we'll
I
see.
already knew that. I didn't even know why she was coming out and saying nobody was getting their stuff.
Right.
Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you just fund it? You know you're going to get the money back when the government opens.
Maybe it has a lot to do with the scare tactic, to
It
get the
is.
American people riled up, to get them angry, and to take her aside and blame Trump for everything, just like she does.
Yep. Well, I would be really surprised if the SNAP benefits don't go out on Saturday.
Yep.
I
Well,
really will be.
well, I'll have to reach out to a few of the people I interviewed and see if that really does happen or not.
Make sure you let me know.
And I'll let you know if they got their benefits or not. But from my understanding, they just got notifications yesterday, is what they were saying. But
Oh,
again,
they notified them days ago.
yep. But
I mean,
again,
they were notified like I think about a week ago.
yeah. Well,
Everybody was notified. That
these
way they
people,
could have, instead of going out and buying T-bone steaks and lobster this week, they could have went and bought beans and potato and made their food stamps last longer. That's why they
yep,
notified them ahead of time.
right.
And that's
So,
just being realistic.
yep. But other than that, what all do you got going on down there right now in the Tucson sector?
I've been out talking to the homeless, and anybody wants to go to what my page that you just put up, they can see what I'm doing with the homeless. I'm trying to get the Tohono or the Paskiyaki tribe. I'm trying to meet with the council to see if they would sit down and hear my plan because I'd like to know what they're going to do with their new casino they're building on Grant and I-10. As you saw when we had breakfast there, that's a hot spot for the homeless.
Yeah.
Which means it's going to be a real kind of a will kind of hurt the casino a little because people are not going to want to go to that casino if they're going to be hounded by the homeless all the time. They'll
Right.
drive out to the other Del Sol out off of Valencia, where they're still homeless, but not as many because it's not so easy to get to.
Right. So I'm going to be making a trip down there soon to the Tucson sector border. Want to see if you'd like to join me. I'm getting reports from a couple of the border guys that talk to me about things that they've got a crisis still going on up there at the end of the border wall near the Chilton Ranch. You know where the
Yep.
Chilton Ranch comes down to the border right there.
I measured it. It's 14 miles from Sassabee to
Right.
the end of the wall.
Yep. And my understanding is right now the cartel has been coming through there pretty heavily. Um, so I'd like to go down there, check it out. I want to see if the humanitarian aids are back down there assisting with the cartel and get that story out to the American people as well if that's really happening. Also,
let me know when you're coming so I can make sure I got it on the schedule so that I can go with you.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and broadcast that live to the American people as well. And also, I want to take a visit over to the No More Death Camp. I know we're giving them heads up, but I want to know why that No More Death Camp is still operating. Tom Holman should have already shut that son of a bitch down. Excuse my mouth. He should have already shut that down.
We don't have anything happening over here in the Tucson sector.
Right.
We don't have it. You know what you're hearing everywhere else. There's really not a whole lot. I mean, they've got the border patrol checkpoints open again and manned, but and I haven't been down to the one by Sassby, the one you and I used to go through, and it was unmanned,
Right.
which made it really easy for them to bring all those drugs. We watched the drug runners on film with the big backpacks.
So are you sure? Are you sure the one there in Sassby is manned now? Because I'll tell you.
No, I said I don't know. I haven't been by it.
Okay, because the one going down to Yuma, the checkpoint right there, about 40 miles out of Yuma.
Yeah.
That one, 90% of the time, that one is unmanned right now. I don't know for what reasons, but my last trip down to Yuma to report, it was unmanned again, and that was day and night.
We'll find out when you get here and we go down there.
Yeah, but I'd like to get that out to the American people as well, because again, they kept broadcasting how the military was all on the border, and that the American people couldn't even travel the border road. Well, I think you saw my footage on it.
Yeah.
I drove that border over 100 miles up and down that border. I came across one border patrol agent. That's it. And according to him, I said, "Where's the military?" He goes, "You just can't see them." But I'm sure they're all sitting behind a computer somewhere monitoring the border.
Yeah. Did you watch that one video where they took out the cartel?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, that was you didn't see them.
Nope.
Till you didn't even see them. You just woke up in hell or wherever the heck you went.
Yep. But anyways, I'm looking forward to seeing a few of my friends with Border Patrol down there and just getting some updates on some things. I want to see if Big R is still down there. You know who I'm talking about.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to see if he's still down there and get some other updates from him if I can. But the Tucson sector, I know it's slowed down since they've got the wall sealed up in those big gaps that we drove up and down. And I want to see if all those gaps are actually sealed or if they've only gotten part of them or what. But I heard that the amount of traffic coming through the wall is next to nothing right now. They're focusing up by the Chilton Ranch now. At the end of the wall right there is where they'll be coming through. And that's pretty much that. I mean, that's some tough terrain up in that area, Dan. So, I mean, that's going to be hard for them to build a wall up and over that mountain anyways.
Yeah. Well, it'd be a lot easier to drive up it now. It's all concrete.
Oh yeah, they paved the road. Well, I guess I don't need my 4x4 anymore for that, huh? Just drive my car like I'm driving on a back road.
Yeah, they were. I figured they only had a couple more days in that one real rough road that we went up. Yeah, we're gonna have that all concreted.
Yeah,
because they were moving pretty quick.
We know they did that back under Biden. I think. Hold on 1 second. I think we got a call into the studio. Hold on. Good morning, Your News Arizona. Hello. No, it was some hate mail, but hold on a second. One last call, Dan. Good morning, Your News Arizona.
Hi, good morning, John. This is Daniel. How are you doing today?
How can I help you, Daniel?
Did you forget we had a phone call scheduled for your website?
Yes, sir. I'm actually live on the news channel right now. You're going to have to call back about 30 minutes.
No problem.
I appreciate it. Thank you. That was my website builder. He's helping out with my Your News az.com site. So anyways, you'll have to check it out when he gets done developing everything for me.
All right.
But and then we're going to start broadcasting live to that as well once that's up and going. And it's also going to go from Q Broadcast. We're going to go ahead and share it over to yournewsaz.com as well. So just got a lot of things in the works. Is my studio is my equipment coming in nice and clear for you, Dan?
Oh yeah.
Good. So I'm pretty much getting my studio set up. About to get the rest of my background behind me finished off, and got some studio lights going in to help the lighting, and things are coming together pretty nice.
What, Damien, who I introduced you to,
Yeah.
with 857 Tucson?
Right.
He wants to. He asked me if I could find a room for him, and I got him a room because he's going to set up a studio over here on Grant and Stone.
Awesome.
And that's why I was saying that I wanted to hook you two up. I mean, he's wanting to get me doing an hour show, but I'm even though it feels like I'm becoming a reporter, I'm not a reporter.
Well, I never asked to be a reporter, never wanted to really be a reporter, but you know what? The American people deserve to know the truth of what's happening around our country, especially down on our borders. Just the amount of garbage that they hide from the American people. Even Fox News is guilty of it.
Yeah.
And, it's time that the American people get to see the actual truth. And that's why it's so important for me to get out and just gather for the American people to see it for themselves. Kind of like what you're doing right now, Dan. You've been out
Yeah.
exposing the homeless and the crisis down there in Tucson, and just getting it out there to the people. Because a lot of
Yep.
people, I've talked to a lot of people that said, "Oh, Tucson, we can't believe it's like that." I said, "Well, obviously you haven't driven around Tucson very much."
Yep, they can go. They can go to, like I said, Buterres for Congress on Facebook. I'm posting all the videos. I'm out talking to the homeless people. Talked with a lady named Michelle the other day. I'm actually going to see what I can do to help her. Everyone wants to chip in and get her a plane ticket home because she just wants to go home. But I've got to see about getting her boyfriend out of jail so that we can send them both home because she won't leave without him.
Right.
And there's a lot. There's some of that I'm finding out there. We've got homeless vets out here in the streets. Granted, they're for the most of them, and so far, I've had some people message me on Facebook saying we're not all drug addicts, but I haven't met any out there that weren't hooked on drugs. I mean, I
Right.
just haven't met them. And that's probably because these people that are homeless that are out there that think we're talking that they're being put in that category. They're not really homeless. They're in motels or they got a car they're living in. I'm talking about these people that are out in the wash having sex in public, peeing over by the soda machines. That's what I'm talking about, homeless. And
Yeah.
I've yet to find someone out there that isn't on drugs.
Right. And sadly, again, they're doing this where kids can see it. Everything else, I think the Tucson Police Department ought to be held accountable as well for allowing this kind of crap for these minors and children to be exposed to this. I mean, somebody's got to be able to come in and do something about this. I
Yeah.
mean,
Well, here's the problem. How do you hold the Tucson Police Department responsible when they got to do whatever the mayor tells them?
yeah.
That it all comes downhill. I've been out there with the officers. As a matter of fact, you can go on my Facebook. You'll see where I'm with the officers when they're arresting the homeless because they've got they've got all the stolen merchandise down in the camps. They got their
Right.
drugs down in the camps. They're selling drugs. They're finding wads of money with these people because they're out selling drugs.
Kind of
And
like
then they
what they're
arrest
doing.
them, but then they let them go.
Yeah, kind of like, you guys are kind of like what they're doing down in New York, I mean, up in New York. I mean, you look at those people in New York, they're breaking into the stores and then setting up and putting up all the merchandise they just stole right out on the street. And,
Yep.
and NYPD's not touching them. You guys have got the same crisis as New York as well.
Yes, we do.
And I
And
mean, well, what a shame to see that here in America.
yeah,
I mean, that's
same Blue City.
yeah. I mean, you guys have got a major crisis. That's one of the reasons why it's so important to get you in the office, Dan, is to have somebody that loves and cares about Tucson that's going to want to help clean it up and see to it that Tucson is getting it cleaned up.
Yeah, and it's going to be important that people start voting for the person and not the party.
Exactly. That's why my famous last words I've always said to people: I don't care what side of the aisle you're on, do the right thing. You're hired by the people to do a job, do it. And I'm not talking a bunch of crazy crap like what the Democrats are doing right now. I'm talking about caring about the American people, seeing to it that your citizens of your communities are safe, taken care of. Things like this has got to happen. Did I just lose you,
Hey,
Dan?
Jonathan.
Yes, sir.
Jonathan.
Okay, I got you. I
Jonathan.
can hear you, Dan. I can hear you. Are you there, Dan? Looks like Dan's having some network difficulties. How about now, Dan? How about now, Dan?
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm.
Can you hear me all right? All right, sorry about that, guys. Dan's having some network difficulty. He can call back in if he wants. Let's see if we can get him back on the phone real quick.
Madam Secretary, as you've been talking, we've been showing footage from that horrific accident that happened just recently in California. Where that driver.
Yeah, you can log back into the studio into that same.
My dad just called. He called twice, and it froze up my frame.
All right.
I just went out and let him in.
Okay, but you can
He just got here.
All right, you can click on that link if you want to re-log in. Otherwise, we can have you back on at another time, Dan.
All right, I'll come on at another time, buddy.
All right, sounds good, buddy. So,
okay,
all right,
bye.
All right. Tell your dad I said hi.
Okay.
All right, bye. All right, guys. We're going to go ahead and end this broadcast here in a minute. I just wanted to thank you guys for joining into today's broadcast. Again, we've been doing a lot of work in the studio, getting things up and functioning, and appreciate you guys and all your patience with our studio and our different network difficulties we've had as we've been getting this all together. But only way we find out if it's working right is to do these live broadcasts. So keep our country in your thoughts and prayers. If you guys that are on the SNAP benefits, if you guys can let me know come whatever day you get your benefits, if you come in or not, you can text me the phone number I gave you guys to my studio. Here, I'll give it to you one more time. My studio number is 928-385-4738. If you guys can let me know whether you got your benefits or not, I'd greatly appreciate that. That way I can make sure we're reporting the ones that are still getting benefits and the ones that aren't. But kind of like Dan said, your states can take over on that matter if they chose to, dip into their own funding. But as usual, they depend on the federal government for everything. And other than that, appreciate you guys. God bless all of you guys out there. Thanks for joining into Your News Arizona. Much appreciate you guys. And